Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. It's an engaging and enlightening talk show on life, relationships, and the business of life. Grab a cup of juice and just chill. Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. Live life. Live fully.
I made a omen. I said, tell me your story. He took out an old pen and wrote something for me. Then he kept walking on down the road, and I watched him disappear like smoke.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. It's an engaging and enlightening talk show on life, relationships, and the business of life. Grab a cup of juice and just chill. Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. Live life. Live fully.
Hello once again, my name is Omobola Stephen and welcome to Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. On today's show, I want to be talking about relationship and marriage issues. And I believe that you and I want to learn one or two about it, but I'm not going to be doing it alone. I have Jeeva and Sulojana Sam, who is going to do justice to this topic on today's show. And so a brief introduction of the guest is going to suffice. Jeeva and Sulojana Sam are marriage mentors, and they have been doing this for over 37 plus years of marriage experience and 36 plus years of pastoral expertise. They have helped many families rebuild and heal broken relationships and marriages. And so on today's show, welcome with me, Jeeva and Sulojana Sam to Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. Welcome on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good to be with you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming around. And so I wanted to ask, what inspired you into becoming marriage mentors?
Okay. Well, it really came out of need that we were approached by a number of couples whom we knew very well, and people, who were, I would call them like established leaders, believers, and even leaders in their churches and so on. Who had really gotten it together on all fronts, except their marriages, were in trouble. And so when they approached us, and then a few years ago, we had done a television program on a Canadian Christian channel that was based on the Love Dare from the Fireproof movie. And so people had some exposure to us in terms of marriage, but when they started asking us to help them, then we didn't jump into it wholeheartedly, because I knew from experience that working with married couples who are in distress can be very draining.
That's right.
But eventually we made the choice, and
we felt like God's calling us to do that, because just that doing that thing, that short clip with the TV station. It just put something in my heart that it's not going to stop there. We need to do more. And, it just kept coming back. And over the years, when friends approached us with marriage problems, I told Jeeva, I think this is it, we should focus on that. And so that's how it all started. It's a call from God.
Right, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good. So why do most people have marital regrets?
Okay. Well, one of the things that we've discovered is people have different expectations going into marriage. And so when those expectations are not met, or not met to the extent that they would like to see them met, that's when people start having regrets. And so, for example, an expectation somebody might have is all my needs that I cannot fulfill on my own will be met by my spouse.
Correct.
And which is a very unrealistic expectation. But unfortunately, people go in with that kind of expectation, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, what's going on here? I thought you were going to meet that need. It's not being met. And so maybe, and usually people will say stuff like, I think I married the wrong person, or we should have never gotten married. Yeah. And the other thing, Sulojana, is also people often get into marriage just based on physical attraction. Right?
That's true. That's true. And the other thing too, it's lots to do with what you have gone through in your early years of your life that can really affect your expectations, your marriage. If you're bringing that baggage into your marriage, it can really affect you. You have to deal with those things, to your marriage to really work, right?
Yeah.
Like someone that is dealing with low self-worth and low self-value. I think that those are the people who really get who experience a lot of hiccups in their marriages, because why you don't even know your worth. And so people will definitely discount you because you don't know your worth. So you tend to attract the wrong relationships into your life. And so I think that we need to work on our upbringing. We need to do a lot of resetting, especially in the children that we're bringing. Thank you so much for that. Is it advisable to work out of an unfulfilling and, unhappy marriage, or, sometimes be like, I can stay, it's better for me to walk out. So as a professional mentor in your field, is it advisable to walk away, or you just like, let me just give another second chance, maybe it's going to work?
Okay, yeah. Well, obviously, because this is our specialty, and we've seen, people come to us with incredibly dysfunctional marriages. We've even had testimony. Actually, we just posted a testimony the other day on social media where the wife basically said, we actually did not believe that you could get our marriage back on track. But by the time they worked with us for about 10 weeks, things have shifted around completely. And so we, like, one of the things we always tell people is, there's always hope. Okay.
That's right.
So walking out should not be definitely your first course of action. You need to really give it an honest effort.
That's right.
To make sure that you can make things work. And we admit there are certain, situations where when one person stubbornly refuses, to work on putting the marriage back together, then, that could become a reality.
Or if there's lots of physical abuse, addictions that, cannot be resolved, like physical abuse, it's a no-no, You don't want to, hurt yourself. I don't think even, Jesus will accept that. So, but, there are cases where people want to work and, take care of that, what's causing them to be abusive, then it can still work.
Yeah, and you can't just stay in a marriage expecting things to change if you don't change.
That's right. That's right.
So when both people have to change, make the changes that they need to make, then you can definitely expect the marriage to change. But just staying in, with this false hope that things will change if I just stay in here, that is very unrealistic.
That's right. Exactly. We need to be realistic. Brilliant. Thank you so much. So what should be a driving pursuit of one's fulfillment in marriage? Is it money? Is it finances, or money, or love, or purpose? Because really, for me, in my marriage, I realized with the passage of time that it is purpose driven, because at the end of the day, some marriages, is love driven. That this is just pure love, total love, and some is driven by purpose. That it's not even about love now. Purpose is playing out here, and so I think that we should be able to come to that understanding and be able to see beyond, the surface. And so some other people, it's just money. It can take care of me, and I think okay with that. So what should be someone's drive, when it comes to marital fulfillment?
Well, definitely it's not money. I mean, it can be driven by love, but love is such a nebulous word, because love can mean different things to different people.
That's right.
Like one of the tests that we get all our couples to go through is actually look at a passage from scripture that's quoted at a lot of weddings, 1 Corinthians 13, 4-8. Love is patient, love is kind, and all those characteristics, and say, hey, are you displaying these characteristics in the way that you treat each other? Because if you are, then you are truly loving one another, and that can be that can actually be the purpose, to have that kind of love. Because of our Christian background, we've basically, decided that being like Christ to each other is really should be the drive that keeps us going, and that should be our fulfillment. Yeah.
Right.
And I also feel like, you have to believe and trust that God brought you both together, and no matter what comes, God will help us get through it. And,
That's
Christ
right.
should be the center of your marriage.
That's right.
And,
That
praying
should be the
together,
so you can go back. You can go back to the foundation. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's the
Absolutely.
foundation.
So I understand also that men go through emotional, abuse. I want to believe that that's wrong.
Emotional abuse.
Yeah.
Do men go to emotional
Do men
abuse?
go through emotional abuse? Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, for example, if a man is, always hearing sarcasm from his wife, where he's being belittled for everything he does and made to feel like he's a nobody, or when a wife is withholding, sex, or if she's in charge of the finances, no, you can't have that money, putting conditions and so on, that can very easily, be construed as emotional abuse. Like, I remember many years ago, I had a couple where she wanted to check his phone every time he came home to see who had messaged him. And like, to me, I would call that emotional abuse, because obviously she had trouble trusting him, but to put that on him, he had great difficulty handling that. So yes, men definitely go through emotional abuse.
Oh, great. So what advice and can you give to a woman, like, I have someone in my life, like a friend, like she looks into the mirror and she tells herself, how can I just get my man to open up to me? Is it workable?
You just have to build yourself up. Who does God say you are, right? No matter what. I know it's a difficult thing, especially when your spouse doesn't see, as you as good or beautiful. But you just have to, go get into the Word and who am I in Christ, right? And also, find some good friends that will support you, that will be there for you. That's what I think that's important. Even or a family member, that will encourage you, that will build you up.
I think the question was, how do you get the man to open up to you?
Oh, okay.
In your marriage.
Right. I realize that we realize in this life that men, they really, they don't extricate their feelings. They bottle up their feelings. That's just the nature. Men don't really, talk like the way we talk. Until you have a man in your life and you just wanted him to just share something, share a bit of his, his low moments, his down moments, and how can you just get him? So I think that is a lot of work for a woman, but I think it's workable. So I'm asking, is it workable?
Oh, definitely it's workable. I think part of it is providing a safe environment. So it's not that men don't want to share their feelings and emotions. A lot of times men don't know how to do it, honestly. Because I grew up in a culture where you never saw the men of our culture being, in our families, being emotional and sharing at that level. So you just don't know how to do it. We're just like dumb as a doorknob when it comes to doing that.
That's right. You can't give what you don't have.
Exactly. Yeah. And so it's funny, you should ask that question because I just put up a post on LinkedIn today about this exact same issue. And so part of it is the men learning how to do it. But on the flip side, like when the man opens up and says something, if he hears his wife say, what kind of feeling is that? What do you mean? That's so dumb. Like
not to judge.
Yeah, if you get judged, then the man's going to clam up. So part of it is
criticize.
Giving that freedom to do that, and then accepting it. For what it is, even if you don't want to, if you don't like to hear what they say, you have to say, okay, like thank God my man's opening up to me rather than shutting him down. Yeah, I think that's part of it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. So I think it's a lot of work from the woman's side, because I've had an experience of a friend who told me that, Omobola, what happened is that because probably they've gone through a lot of issues lately in their marriage. And so the husband feels that, I'm not secured with opening up to this lady. I tell you something tomorrow we have a disagreement, you pick on that and, you begin to, talk back at me with the information you have about me. So I decided I need to just shut up completely, that's just it. So I think that also as women, we need to be careful with, our attitude, with our husbands. Once we know that they don't really like talking, so the little information we have handy, we should be able to, protect it, so that they can really have trust in us.
Yeah, the trust,
Mm-hmm.
for them to open up.
And also to realize that for the most part, men will not talk as in much depth or detail as women will about their feelings and emotions. I mean, they can talk on other topics for hours and hours, sports or something like that. But when it comes to emotions, what you get maybe just tidbits. So you have to just thank for the tidbits and then just learn to say, well, can you help me understand that a little bit more? What's making you feel this way? And like ask those kind of leading questions, but non-threatening questions.
That's right.
So when you ask them in that tone, with that kind of effect, then, men will open up more.
Great. Thank you so much for that advice. It's been lovely to Omobola Stephen. I've been having a really brilliant and expository discussion about relationship and marriage with marriage and my relationship mentors, Jeeva and Sulojana Sam. And so basically they are marriage mentors and they've been doing this for over 37 years plus of marriage experience and 36 years plus of pastoral expertise. They've helped many families rebuild and heal broken relationships and marriages. And so today I wanted to ask you, do you have any projects you're working on?
So we're actually working on a book that will help people to go from breakdown to breakthrough in as little as 10 weeks. And we're also working on an e-course that goes with that. So that's what we're working on right now.
So much. Thank you so much once again. Thank you for coming on the show. And so, do you have any parting word?
You can see.
So one of the things that we tell all couples that come to us is, and that's the word that I want to give everybody, is that there are no such things as marriage problems, but there are people with their own problems coupled together in a marriage. And together you give birth to problems that seem like marriage problems. And so if you try to solve communication problems, conflict resolution problems, sexual problems, without looking at the problems that you personally brought into the marriage, you will never reach a resolution.
That's right.
I feel like, it's the commitment, and the attitude that you come into the marriage with. You just have to, make a commitment that no matter what, we are going to work at this together in the marriage with Christ as the center. And, if we go with that attitude, no matter what comes, you can work at it together with the help of God, right? And you can overcome. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Some people, I don't know, with the Western culture, there are, this is like it doesn't work. They think in the back of their mind, if this doesn't work, okay, that's a way out, Divorce is so easy, So we are, when we were the way we were brought up, they say there's no word, such word as divorce in the dictionary. So that's how we came into a marriage, and it will work.
It will work.
Marriage begins with saying I do, but marriage continues when you keep on saying I will. I will make it through.
Great. Thank you for that, P-line. And thank you once again for coming to the show, Jeeva and Sulojana Sam. I believe that some other time we can do this again.
You're very welcome. Appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you so much once again. It's been lovely, Omobola Stephen. And so,
ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. It's an engaging and enlightening talk show on life, relationships, and the business of life. Grab a cup of juice and just chill. Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. Live life. Live fully.